So for our first episode of Meet Me on the Bricks, it was a no-brainer to ask Vilma Silva to be our first guest. In 18 seasons acting with the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, Vilma is beloved by both the audience and the company alike. Last season, she starred as the title character in a riveting production of Julius Caesar, and this season she's acting in Romeo and Juliet and Medea Macbeth's Cinderella. What you might not know is that Vilma is also an avid foodie, so Miles and I thought it would be totally fitting to take her to Rogue Creamery and Lillie Belle Farms for the morning. The beauty of a trip to both Rogue Creamery and Lillie Belle Farms is that they're right next to one another in Central Point. You just head north on the 5 to exit 33, take a left after the exit, a right on 99, and you'll quickly see Lillie Belle Farms on your left. You can't miss it. It's as purple as Willy Wonka's jacket. We arrived in the morning, and having agreed that chocolate made for a much more nutritious breakfast than aged blue cheese did, we went to Lillie Belle first. Once inside, we met with Jeff Shepard, the owner and chocolate genius. I'm not lying. From chocolates that fizz to chocolates that scald, the guy's a total chocolate genius. Jeff invited us on a backstage tour, so we put on some very flattering hats and made our way into Shepard's mad scientist laboratory. The madman himself regaled us with stories of some of his wildest creations. Rum-soaked cherry cordials, truffles full of peanut butter and marshmallow fluff, chocolates with lavender, chocolates with maker's mark and candied pecans, even chocolates with smoked blue cheese, towering fantasies of chocolate populated by strange voodoo bunnies. But what impressed us the most is that Jeff actually makes his own chocolate. I don't mean he melts and assembles his own chocolate. That goes without saying. I mean he makes the chocolate from scratch, from imported fermented cocoa beans. He roasts them, grinds them to separate the shells from the beans, and then goes out back where he winnows the beans by hand, blowing away the lighter shells so that the heavier, flavorful beans remain behind. The point is, Jeff isn't just an artist. He's a craftsman of the highest order. Before we left, though, Vilma only had one more request.
All of this talk about this, I think we just have to try some chocolate.
Let's go eat some chocolate.
Okay.
We made our way over to the tempering machines where Jeff gave a quick demonstration. We then each had a turn filling a mold with silky white chocolate.
Oh my God, this is really moving.
Yes.
It's not as easy as it looks.
Way too full, way too much.
But it sure is delicious. After our wholesome breakfast, Vilma took us to Rogue Creamery right next door. There we met Francis Plowman, the creamery's owner, and Craig Nelson, the lead cheesemaker. We got suited up and headed into the creamery itself, where Craig explained the cheesemaking process. From the 20,000 pounds of fresh local milk that arrives daily, to the journey the milk takes, heading through the pipes to be pasteurized, ultimately arriving in large stainless steel baths where the process really begins. Vilma, longing to be pressed into service yet again, enlisted us as well to stack and restack several hundred pounds of cheddar, thereby pressing out the liquid whey and making a cheese that's better suited to aging. Back in the shop, Vilma, Miles, and I were handed off to meet Tom Van Voorhees, the manager of the cheese shop, who took us on a tasting journey, giving us just a small sample of the many famed blue cheeses for which Rogue Creamery is known. These are amazing cheeses. They are personal, unique, and wildly delicious. The great thing about visiting Lillie Belle and Rogue Creamery is how personal the process is. These guys are devoted to their craft in every way, and you can literally taste it. In Henry V, the boy tells us that he would give all his fame for a pot of ale rather than take part in the siege of Harfleur. After a long day at Rogue Creamery and Lillie Belle Farms, it's hard to imagine what I wouldn't give up for a feast of artisan chocolate and cheese. Thank God for friends like Vilma, as eager to do tastings at 9 in the morning as we are.
From anywhere.
Did you get that?